Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes, you were saying.
I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, everyone. This is Osahan Rafael back again. Here, head of SME and partnership at
Now you they call me. Yeah, do available for me. Do available.
Please mute your lines if you're joining the meeting. I think it's automatically supposed to mute. All right. So we are, like I mentioned earlier, we've been facing some technical challenges in terms of being able to communicate with you, get the speaker out, and all of that. We will solve that soon, but while we do that, let me just speak to you a little bit about what we're doing at EcoBank. With the MySME Growth Series is the first part of our training program with our agenda, which is to train 1 million SMEs. And as I mentioned earlier, we've started off, this is the third episode in the series, and it's going to be about communicating with confidence for your business, where the speaker will talk about a number of different subtopics, including how to pitch your product or your business. Some of you might have to do that either to investors or to customers. She'll talk about some of the tricks for public speaking, overcoming the fear of public speaking, which a number of us have and we have to deal with. And she will also talk about some things around how to be more effective in getting your message across. And Joyce is a very renowned MC and speaker, and has, she trains people to be MCs actually. So you're in for a treat with that particular topic, which will be starting very soon. EcoBank is very committed to SMEs and growth of SMEs, because SMEs are the growth engine for our economy. We can see that about 50% of the GDP comes from SMEs, and almost 90% of jobs as well comes from SMEs. So this is a very important thing. We take it very seriously, which is why we're very committed to solving the challenges that SMEs have. We know that there are a lot of different issues that SMEs have and pain points, and the series that we put together will be addressing them one at a time, trying to increase the skill level that we have as business owners as we go into the marketplace. So you'll be, I do want to encourage you to go to the YouTube channel. If you've missed any of the previous episodes, learn from them, and also just follow us so that you can be up to date about all the different things that we're doing to train SMEs, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of different aspects of running a business, successful in a business. Some of them have to do with being able to find your customers and keep them. Some of them have to do with being able to access financing, and some of that has to do with being properly structured. So you'll be learning topics like that, topics about how you will be able to I think that we're going to start very shortly now, because it looks like we're just about to resolve the technical issues. Yeah, so as I was saying, the technical, so the topics that we know, which people are interested in, include things like how to handle your taxes and how to handle the different obligations navigations as a business, where to find opportunities to get new customers and grow your sales, how to communicate about your business, raising financing, the best ways to do it. So you will be hearing topics like this over the next few weeks as we continue the MySME Growth Series. And we will also hold a number of different master classes. Some of them will be physical in-person master classes that would allow you to learn more about things that can help you for your business. So we're very committed to doing this, and we will make sure that you have a good toolkit by the time we're done with all the different training that we will hold this year. Okay. Now, I know people here are from many different industries, maybe we should find out a little bit more about the different places that people have come from. I've seen that people who've registered have come from financial services. Some people here are in trading businesses. Some people here are doing some light manufacturing. So it is quite nice to see a variety of people doing different businesses. And we'll be sharing more with you about how you can thrive in each of your different segments of the economy. One topic that I know that has been talked about a lot is the ability to export. And you will also get something of that in the next MySME Growth Series, which will be on the 21st of March, right? So please do look out for that. A webinar that would be all about how to prepare yourself to export to select markets that are quite large. So we're very interested in the success of the businesses because we do want businesses to thrive. That's how our economy grows. And EcoBank remains a big player in the SME space. Recently, winning an award as Africa's best SME bank. But anyway, with that,
today we are making a brighter tomorrow, built by our dreams and our energy. Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better future. A Pan-African future. Together. EcoBank. A better way, a better Africa. Across Africa, a new era has begun. Shifting our focus to a new horizon, connecting us with one purpose: to create and share opportunities to grow. Today, we are making a brighter tomorrow, built by our dreams and our energy. Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better future. A Pan-African future. Together. EcoBank. A better way, a better Africa. Gun. Today, we are making a brighter...
I love the transformation. Academy, a training school for event host MCs focused on improving the craft and business of event hosting with great success. Here is to empowering 1 million SMEs in Nigeria.
Thank you so much, EcoBank, for having me. MySME Growth Series. Yay! I feel like a child who has just been given candy because this is my dream come true. You might ask, why is it my dream come true? I love what I do. I love the transformation it helps people bring into their lives and businesses. And then EcoBank gives me opportunity to speak. I mean, come on now. Come on. This is so great. So thank you so much. I am delighted to share this topic, communicating with confidence for your business. The questions that constantly come to me about communicating with confidence are a dime a dozen, sorry, a combo a dozen, if you get what I mean. So I'm happy that your questions will be answered today. So let's look at the tools that we would be using to solve the problems that surround communicating with confidence for your business, like a bunch of keys. All right? You have your key holder. I have my EcoBank key holder. And you have your keys. All you need to do when you're stepping out of the house is grab the entire bunch, right? Because you're not sure when you would need which key. One leads to the house, one might lead to the car, another one leads to the front door, one leads to the back door, but you have all of them in one. So I would give us one bunch of keys. Wherever you find yourself, this is all you would need. You just need to find the key to that door. It is not a new concept. Many of us already use these keys. We just don't know that it is a thing. So when we're talking about it, you'll find many times you go, we call them aha moments. You have aha moments because we would be explaining how to use those keys you probably already have in your hand. You just didn't know what they were and what they were used for. In the School of Journalism, they would teach these keys as the 5 W's and 1 H. 5 W's and 1 H. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. In no particular order. So it could also be why, what, who, when, where, and how. No one is more important than the other. No one is less important than the other. Depending on what door you're trying to open, you would determine which of these keys is most important. So we're talking about, once again, communicating with confidence for your business. Let's talk about the confidence part. Why are we talking about confidence? Confidence, in my opinion, is the foundation on which we build every other strategy or tactic that is required for communicating effectively. Confidence is like a river. It has a source. It flows from somewhere. And you see, rivers are affected by time of day, distance to the moon, right? We call them tides. Sometimes the tide of the river will be high when it's like night time, and sometimes you say, oh, it's the full moon, and you find that the tide is high. Something affects the tide of a river. That's different from a lake or a pond that stays at the same height level at any time. So let's think about this as a river. So what causes confidence to flow? Can you guess? Take a wild guess. What makes confidence flow? Different elements. One of the elements is conviction. Conviction. If I ask you your name, tell me, what's your name? Do you think about it? You confidently say, my name is Bimbo. My name is Ogichukwu. My name is Joyce. My name is Daniel. My name is Abraham. My name is Love. Why? You're convinced. You know, you already know. So it stems from a place of conviction. The things we are more convinced about, we find that we are more confident about. So when I ask you, tell me about your business, tell me about the numbers you made last year, it is the person who already knows the numbers that would confidently talk about the numbers. The person who doesn't know will go, that's when you start hearing things like as in, basically, in as much as, what's that other one that we say now? There's one that is very common. Literally. You start hearing us use words like literally, basically, because we are not prepared with the amount of knowledge we need that feeds conviction, that feeds confidence. Feeling me? Yeah. Confidence comes from conviction. Conviction comes from knowledge. In fact, I'll flip it and tell you about different places where conviction can come from. Conviction can come from 3 major places in my book, in the book of Joyce Daniels. 3 major places, and please, you want to write these down, because every time you find that you are lacking conviction or confidence, you go back and check what is missing here. Number 1 is knowledge. What do you know? What have you researched? What have you learned? What have you been taught? What have you been trained? What have you read, studied, discussed, discovered? What do you know? The more you know, the more confident you become, because knowledge will breed conviction. The next item, I call these anchors, actually. I call them anchors, and you know what an anchor is? It keeps you grounded. Ships use anchors when they don't want to move around. They drop the anchor, so it stops you from moving too much. So that anchor keeps you grounded. Anchor number 1, we've said, for conviction and confidence is knowledge. Anchor number 2 is experience. You know how sometimes you say experience is the best teacher? Because when you experience something, it teaches you many times more than what you heard, what you read. It gives you conviction that increases your confidence. So what have you experienced in your business? Since we're talking about communication for business, if I were to ask you to tell me anything about, say, your growth journey, we're going to be talking about your experience, and your confidence level will likely be higher than if I say, tell me about what you project for the next 5 years. That's where we start hearing But if I say, tell me about your last 5 years of business, you go, oh my gosh, last year, 5 years ago. Why? It's coming from somewhere. Experience. So what kinds of experience do you also want to intentionally create that will increase your confidence in business? Some of us have gone to business school. Some of us have attended business trainings. Why? It changes the knowledge and the experience. Some of us have gone on exchange programs. Some of us have opened certain kinds of, or started certain kinds of relationships because we want a certain kind of experience that feeds our confidence, feeds our conviction, feeds our confidence. Do you understand so far? If you do this wherever you are. Somebody is driving. I know you have one hand, but you're listening to us. So just do this. Yeah. To know that you are connecting with what we are saying right now. So we've talked about 2 anchors so far. We said the first anchor is what? Knowledge, what you know. The next one is experience. The next anchor is your desires. Could be your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, your wishes. I would put all of them together and say your desires. Your desire is such a strong anchor for confidence. What do I mean? You're trying to raise 1 million naira for something you want to execute in your business, right? You need the 1 million naira to help you with A, B, C. You are very clear as to what exactly you need the monies for, A, B, and C. So your desire is to earn or raise 1 million naira for these 3 ventures. That's desire. That strengthens confidence. So guess what you begin to do? You start making a list of people you can raise monies from. Family, friends, and of course, EcoBank. Because your confidence is coming from a place of desire. And now you're calling people, you're sending texts, you're sending messages on WhatsApp, you're sending messages on your social media platforms. You're saying, hey, this is our FundMe account. Give us this. This is what you get. We're trying to raise 1 million for this. And somebody's saying, where's all this drive coming from? They've used the word drive. When somebody's very confident, say, I like his drive. I like her drive. You with me? So when you're confident about something because of the desire you have, you would give it more push. We're going to talk about how this all leads to communication. Just stay with me. We're dealing with the foundation, which we said is what? Confidence. Communicating with confidence for your business. Not just communicating for your business, with confidence, because there are people who communicate for their businesses without confidence, and they don't get a lot of results because confidence is the catalyst, is the accelerator, is the thing that makes us get the results that we want much faster. Now, imagine that only on this word confidence, we have spoken about knowledge, experience, and desire. So if you are thinking about any piece of communication that you need to do in the near future, and when I say near future, I mean between today, the 7th of March, and the next, say, 3 months, between March, April, May, June, right? Between now and the next quarter, you're already asking yourself, I know you're doing it. I can see you do it. I can hear your thoughts. You're already asking yourself, what do I know? What have I experienced? And what do I desire? Sometimes the strength of the desire is not enough. You say, well, I would like to have 1 million naira to do ABC. You've not made it something that is compulsory. You said you would like to. It's a nice to have. It's not a must have. So the strength of your desire would affect your confidence. So when you're walking into EcoBank to ask for some sort of partnership with the MySME desk, and you want to ask for some sort of partnership, the strength of that desire will affect your conviction, which will affect your confidence. If the 1 million naira is a must-have, you will sit down and say, look, I am getting this money today. They would ask you, what do you need money for? This is what I need it for. Where is this? This is the document. What about this one? I came with it. Why? Because your desire is deeply rooted. But when it's a wish, like, well, if I get it, fine. If I don't get it, it's all right. Somebody sits with you at the desk and says, so we'd like to partner with you. Where is this document? Oh, I didn't bring it. I didn't really know I would need it. You see how the strength of your desire is affecting your behavior, which is affecting your confidence, which will affect what you say. So you say, okay, what about this document? Did I even really have it? Okay, show us the trail of business and your inflow and outflow in the last 6 months. I didn't even bring. It means your desire never reach. When your desire cook, you will come with the right documents and your mouth will now become strong. If you know what I'm saying, hit your chest. I know what you're saying. Because you know what I'm saying. You know the things that you've found as an obsession, you pursued with such gusto. The confidence was flowing from the source of what? Your desire. The strength of your desire. You already know today there's certain things you're pursuing with all your heart, your life, your strength, because you are convinced that when you achieve or attain, this is how your life and your business will change. And you know the other things that you don't really care about, you wrote them as, what do you call those things at the beginning of the year? New Year resolution. Well, you already dropped them since January 2nd. Why? No conviction. Communication is an expression of your heart. Communication is an expression of everything that you are. What comes out of your mouth? One of the religious books, so we'll call it the good book, says, out of the abundance of the heart, a man or a woman speak. If it's not in your heart already as a strong desire, or you've had great experience, or you know a lot about it, it won't come out of your mouth with strength. So now, let's go back to our keys. Now that we've dealt with confidence, and we've said it comes from conviction, which comes from your anchors, which are knowledge, experience, and what's the last one? Say now, desire. You got it. Let's now talk about the keys to communicating these with strength, with power. And we gave them a name. We said they're the 5 W's and 1 H. Now, in no particular order, let's talk about the first W, who. Who are you speaking to? Your who will determine your choice of words. So if I say to you, dear Janet, or dear Jide, explain your business to a 6-year-old. We invite you to so-and-so school on Parents' Day and would like you to speak to our pupils or students about your business. Now you'll see your demeanor would change because you're speaking to who? Children under the age of 10. Your language and demeanor will change again when you're speaking to children between the ages of 12 and 18. And we say you're speaking to undergraduates at the University of Benin. Speak to them about your business in fishery. You've been in fishery for the last 12 years. Come and speak to these undergraduates about entrepreneurship and speak to them from the angle of your business. Your language will change again, yes or no? Yes, because of who you're speaking to. Then we say, come speak to other entrepreneurs who have been in business for 10 years, but now some of them want to pivot to something else, some other expression. Speak to them about your fishery business. Let's see if something you say will make them decide to go into fishery with you. You see, your language is already changing. Why? Your who has changed. So when you're preparing for a presentation, one of the first questions to ask is, who am I speaking to? I'm invited to speak to a CFO, Chief Financial Officer, about my business, or I'm speaking to someone else in finance who I'm expecting to finance my business, or I'm speaking to an angel investor, or I'm speaking to venture capitalists, or I'm speaking to someone at the MySME desk, and they're saying, how much money will you need? The who determines what I'll say. These people want to hear about numbers. They're not very interested in the issue of some kind of issues that some of us will be going around and around saying basically, no, at this time is what numbers? What numbers did we make in 2023? What came in, what went out? Where were the gaps? What fell through? What numbers do you need in 2024? What will you do with these numbers? If we give you this 1 million naira, tell us exactly how you're going to use it. Where is the profit going to come from? What will be the challenges? What will be the blah, blah, blah about the numbers because of your who? Some people want to hear about your business from the angle of inspiration, want to see if we could be inspired to come into your business. Some people want to hear about your business from the angle of numbers. How can we put money into your business and what comes out? Some other people want to hear about your business in terms of how it affects the business landscape in Nigeria/Africa. So you're in fishery. Tell us about how that affects the economic landscape in Africa. You see, it's different from money. It is different because of the who, which very closely links to the why. Remember, bunch of keys. They're all the same bunch. You just need which key per time. The who, now this one might open the door to the house, your who. The why might now open the door to your room. Why are you speaking to this person? So you know who you're speaking to, but why? Are they trying to give you money for grant? Grant is money that doesn't come back, right? It's not, you don't need to repay. Or are they trying to give you money for loan? Are they trying to give you money for interest-free loan? You see, the why will determine certain words that will come out of your mouth or no. If you understand what I'm saying right now, just, what do I tell you to do this time? Just say, hey! Say, hey! Because you understand what I'm saying. The why. So I'm speaking about who, but I've also segued into why. Who you're speaking to will determine what you say and why you are speaking for your business. I give you an example. Let's assume right now you're the COO, you're the Chief Operating Officer at the organization where you work. And you're speaking on behalf of the CEO. What is your why for this presentation? To represent someone, right? It also goes beyond that. You might also need to understand why that person, your CEO, was asked to speak in the first place. So that in your representing him or her, you remember their why. Let me give us a practical example. You'll sometimes hear people say things like, you know, today I'm speaking on behalf of my boss, Jumoke. She asked me to speak, and well, there might be some errors in what I'll say. You know, I was only told in the last 1 hour that I'll be the one representing. Wait. We are hearing what we shouldn't hear because you don't know why. You don't know why. You were asked to speak because you are the person who could represent your boss, Jumoke, in the best light. So I would rather hear your opening remarks like this. I am so grateful for the opportunity that my boss, Jumoke, gave to me to speak on her behalf today. I have looked forward to this opportunity because at ABC Company, where we work, we have been working on this project, that project, and the other, and therefore we are rightly positioned to speak to us today about this experience. Come along with me as I share with you 4 reasons why ABC XYZ. You see, you didn't say that silly thing that we hear, like, they only told me last 1 hour ago, you see, that's why. You know your why. You are here to represent your organization in best light. That's your why. Therefore, it affects what you decide to say. If this is making sense to you right now, I hope you take a note or 2 away so that you can refer to your notes later, and you can also apply to your preparation for your speaking from the notes that you have put down already. I think it's a good time to leave in the chats. Thank you, MySME Growth Series, for putting this together as we continue. This would be a good time to see that. So we're speaking about your why. Why are you speaking today? Why are you making a presentation today? Are you trying to inspire? Are you trying to motivate? Are you trying to inform? Or are you trying to convince? These are 4 major reasons why you would be speaking at any event, any presentation, anywhere. To inspire, to motivate, to inform, or to convince. Convince means you want someone to understand you enough to take a certain kind of action. The action you want them to take is very clear. So you want them to have conviction that leads them in the way you are guiding them. So if I want to convince someone of something, for example, I'm delivering a pitch. I'm trying to pitch my business to get some investment in. That's a presentation to convince. So now we've talked about who and why. Let's talk about what. Are you with me? Let's talk about what. What are you saying concerning your business? Now, this what, if you've been listening, will be affected by what? It will be affected by who you're speaking to, why you are speaking, and it will be affected by the quality of your confidence, which comes from where? Your conviction, which comes from where? Your knowledge or your experience or your desire. What will you be saying? Would you be talking about the numbers of your business? Would you be talking about the history of your business? Would you be talking about the challenges of your business? Would you be talking about the wins of your business? Would you be talking about the projections or the future of your business? What will you be talking about depending on who you're speaking to and why you are speaking? So we now move to what's the next W we should go to? We've done who, why, what. Let's talk about when. When you are speaking or presenting or communicating about your business can affect different things. If you're speaking to a customer or an investor or any other stakeholder at the start of a day between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m., your energy levels are probably higher. Their attention span is also probably higher because that's the fresh start of the day. They are not yet encumbered by so much. You will find that the kind of engagement you'll get with your audience might be better. That's why, for example, we're here gathered at 10 a.m., right? Because this is still fresh. If we're attending this same webinar at 6 p.m., some of us will nod off. Why? Some of us are trying to wrap up business for the day. That might not be the time we have the full attention that you would give to us right now because of your when. So ask yourself, for the next time you're going to pitch your business or you're going to speak about your business, when? Is it when people are hungry, just before lunch? Or immediately after lunch when people are full and have the tendency to doze? Or is it at the end of the month when salaries are being paid? Is that the right time to make a certain promo in your business because at that time people have money? When? What time of the year is it? Is it when people are complaining that inflation is so high? Oh, there is no money. Dollar is now this or that. When? Your when matters. Time of day, time of week, time of month, time of year, time of life. You would find that some people who are in a time of their business where they are desperate for a change, they may speak with more conviction than those who are in a very comfortable season of their businesses. That's what again? When. So when are you speaking? When? What is the time of your life? I dare say, and this is to all the women and men listening, of course. Do you know the time of the month? And I'm talking about your biological clock for a woman now. Do you know the time of the month could affect your presentation? Because your hormones might be raging. So in planning to present, I would ask you, the serious person, to also check your biological clock, know when you're ovulating, having your flow and all of that, and maybe avoid that time of the month where you know you're irritable, you get upset, for those who have such expressions with the time of their month. If you don't, that's fine. But if you do and you are well aware, place your presentation in a when that would be most productive for you. Yes, somebody is saying, but Joyce, I've never thought about this before. Exactly, that's why I'm here, bringing your attention to it. Because sometimes you might be wondering, why is it that that other month when I made the presentation, it was so good, it was so smooth, but this other time there were challenges. It could have been the time of the month. So when are you presenting? Morning, noon, night? What day of the week? What time of the month? What time of the year? And we'll pack this here. Finally, the last W is where. Are you speaking to people face to face in a room? Do you know the distance from where you park your car or get out of your car to the venue where you would speak? Someone will say, but what does that have to do with anything? Now, if you're going to be wearing 6-inch heels and you need to walk almost 600 meters from where your car is to where you'll be presenting, chances are you would have some sort of pain already prickling somewhere on your feet that could affect your entire physiology, that could affect your presentation. You need to know where you're going, man or woman. Where? Am I going to be presenting in a place where is an elevated platform, which we might call a stage? Would I be sitting in a panel, and would there be chairs that are comfortable, maybe bucket chairs like this or like stools? Where are you speaking? Are you speaking online? Do you know how to use the online tools? Look, never again, and I say never ever, should we hear things like, now you're the one presenting, or you say things like, I really don't know how to share my screen, like these Gen Z moves going on. You'll be speaking, your phone is on at that time, but you're talking rubbish because you didn't learn your way. Now, you were invited to speak online. You didn't ask where. Is it Microsoft Teams? Is it Zoom? Is it Google Meet? Is it StreamYard? And many other platforms that exist right now. Do you know how to share your screen? Do you know how to change your background? Do you know how to mute yourself and unmute? Do you know how to use the tools online that are available to you? Do you know how to set your timer so that whilst you're speaking online, people can see your timer show? All these things matter. So you might have prepared your wonderful slides, your wonderful presentation, and then you get to the place where you're supposed to speak, and you find out that there's no microphone. Meanwhile, you had hopes there would be a mic. So you will now hear you say things like, oh, my voice is really light. I don't really know how to project. So you all are just going to have to manage. Guess what you've just done? You've just told your audience that you are giving them permission to cut off from you because you didn't prepare for your where. Where would I be speaking? How many people would be in the room? 30, 50, 100? Would there be a microphone? And they go, no, we didn't make plans for it. Please plan now, because I would need a microphone to make sure that my voice carries through to the back of the room. And there is a rule, by the way, if you're speaking to 30 people and more, you should speak with a microphone. Yes, regardless of how loud your voice is, whether it's as loud as mine or as tiny as this. Ask for a microphone if it's for a room of 30 people and more. Don't ever take things for granted anymore if you are the person asked to speak anywhere. You're invited to a panel, you're invited to an interview, ask questions. Where would it be? How cold would it be? Should I have a jacket? I find that some people's confidence will wane if they're so cold and there's no way to take care of the cold. They start shivering, such. Now, you shiver typically when you have a little stage fright. Then cold can't jam up. Problem. Somebody say problem. So ask where. What will the temperature be like? Will there be water to drink? What's the distance to the restroom? Because many of us know that just before you make a presentation, sometimes you need to visit a restroom, either to pee, to do number 2, or just to pour water on your face to calm yourself down. So you need to ask all these questions. They're important. They would affect your confidence. Where? If this is making sense to you right now, you need to tell somebody about this program. You need to share. You need to click on share right now and tell your friends, tell your family, tell your colleagues, tell your staff. This would be a very wonderful gift for someone who you're either doing business with or business for, or someone who is working for you. They need to hear some of these things you're hearing. So share that link now and let the people in your space get onto hearing this. Because as a business owner, sometimes if the people in your organization don't know what you know in terms of things like this, you will struggle, or you will do like my people in Edo State, who say you go struggle. You will struggle. And we don't want to be struggling in 2024. That's why this is coming early enough in the year. They should know what you know. Share the link with them, have them register, join us now, and get the rest part of the program. So now we talk about how. We've said your 5 W's: who, why, what, when, and where. Let's talk about how. How you present will depend on your 5 W's. You need to know your 5 W's before you determine your how. Your how could be, do I need to speak with slides? Do I need to play a video? Do I need to show a photograph? So who I'm speaking to, I go back to money, because many of us, when we're making presentations with our businesses, many times we're trying to raise funds for something, right? Or we're trying to inspire people to a point where they can buy. So we're trying to convince people to buy. So who you're speaking to, what you're saying, where you're saying, it might determine how you present your information. You might show us a photograph. Let's say you're talking about your jewelry business, right? And you're trying to convince somebody to buy. That's where you see people create video ads, because that's the how. And in the video ad, all you'll see is some lovely looking person with a slender neck wearing the jewelry on the neck. And the next thing they show you that because of the jewelry on the neck, their lives were transformed. And someone says, I like that, and they buy. Why? You created an ad, which is a how, depending on who you were trying to speak to and what you were trying to say. You see, ads will show you that if you have this thing in your life, everything will be all good. A toothpaste ad will show you that if you brush your teeth with this toothpaste, all the boys will follow you, all the girls will love you, right? That's your how. Your how might be a pie chart, which speaks to the different angles of a whole, because you're trying to speak to people. Your who, your why, your what requires that they see the representation of everything at once, and so you show a pie chart. You might use a bar graph, because you're trying to compare different aspects of your business. You're trying to say, this is the amount of money coming in, but this is how it affects our marketing. This is how it affects our sales. This is how it affects our staffing. This is how it affects capital expenditure. So you're putting it all in a bar graph. The how, whether it's a graph, a chart, a video, a photo, a demonstration, or in my case, using a model, will depend on your who, what, where, when, why. You feel me? So let's talk about pitching your business for the next few minutes that we have. Because many times we're always pitching. You're always pitching at least for a sale. If you're not pitching for a sale, you're pitching for investment, you're pitching for support, you're pitching for partnership, you're pitching for expansion. You're always pitching. You've been selling fantastically in your town in Owerri. Now you want to expand your business to Aba. You want to expand your business to Onitsha, to Port Harcourt, to Lagos, and more. That's a pitch. We're always pitching. So what are some of the angles of pitching or to pitching? The same set of tools. Your who, what, where, when. Look, I said it. If you have this bunch of keys, you have everything. Anytime you need to speak, present, communicate about your business with confidence, you would ask yourself, where's my confidence coming from? And you ask yourself, which of these tools can I use? So you're pitching. You're pitching to make a sale. What, you see, one of the W's, what is your potential client looking for? So you're selling a key. That's your product. You're selling a key. What is your client looking for? If your client is looking for safety and security, you would show how you see this key, you can use it to lock your door to stay safe. If your client is looking for luxury, you would say, oh, this key was also made with 18 karat gold. You see, you've talked about the other part of the key because of your who and your what they're looking for. If your client is looking for convenience, you'd say, you see this key, so small, it can just fit into your pocket very easily. At that time, you may or may not mention that the key is made with 24 karat gold, because the person is looking for what? Convenience. So I'm asking you, who is about to make a pitch, to make a sale, what is your client looking for? If you cannot answer that question, that's fine. Find out. Put out a survey. Many of us are doing our businesses on social media now. Go and write on your stories, on your feed. What do you need from the key that I'm selling? Put your comments. I'll be checking your comments below. If you try it today, Thursday, the 7th of March, 2024, you You will make some discoveries that you may never have known. So ask your clients, ask your customers, what do they want? Some people say, I want security, I want safety, I want convenience, I want speed. So you talk about how you deliver within 24 hours and you deliver countrywide, you deliver nationwide because you partner with X. Some people say, oh, I want a discount, I want cheap, I want affordable. You will now know if that client is yours or not, because remember you said it was 18 karat gold. How can it be cheap? So you might now show them that you have a second key. This one is made with aluminium. And because it's an aluminum key, this is more affordable than the gold key. So for those who want moderately to low price, we've got you. For those who want premium, luxury, we've got you. Now you're talking about your business from different angles because you know what your client or your stakeholder is looking for. Some people only want to know about price. They don't care if the key is gold, aluminum, glass, sand, plastic, or paper. They only want price. So you either put that price out there, you put out your product and you say you can get it for this price now. You can even talk about the sales. You know how when we have those Black Friday sales or Cyber Monday sales, it's all about price. At that time, people just want price, price, price. Oh, what's the discount you're getting, right? Some people want to talk about the features. They would only buy your key if they know your key can work with any lock. It's a master key. Any lock will work. That's what we're looking for. So what is your client looking for? That stakeholder you're going to communicate with when you're pitching. And if you're pitching to raise funds, what, once again, is that potential investor looking for? Do they want to know about you, the founder, and what your qualifications are? Because some investors are more interested in the profile of the founder of the business than in the details of the business itself. And I've heard this many times because they feel if they can trust you as the founder or co-founders, then they can trust whatever your business ideas will be. Some want to know about how this business will affect the environment, right? So you will do your ESG evaluation. So you're pitching to this investor who is interested in your ESG. How does it affect the environment? How does it affect the social space? And how does it affect governance, corporate governance? So they want to know that. They don't only want to know about your inflow and outflow, revenue, profits, margins. They want to also know about your ESG. So this is something to be aware of. What is your audience looking for? The only way to know is to ask. Ask, or put all the information in, from the finance to the inspiring factors to the ESG to the everything else, to your credentials, your profile, that will be convincing to your audience. We're still talking about pitching. If you're able to answer what's in it for me, it's still back to what? What's in it for me from the angle of your audience? They might want to know, if I put this 1 million naira into your business, when will I get it back? How will I get it back? What interest rate or what interest will I get in what time? You see, what's in it for me? So that would determine to a large extent whether your confidence levels will rise or drop, because you know what's in it for me from the angle of your audience. So I'll leave it here right now and take the questions that are coming in, because we started from the foundation of what? Confidence. Confidence will come from a place called conviction. Conviction will come from a place called your anchors: knowledge, experience, desire. These will affect whether you are able to use our keys right. And what are the keys? Who, what, why, where, when, and how. In the right proportion, all of these together will help you communicate with confidence for your business. All right, ready for questions?
Thank you so much, Joyce Daniels. That was a very, very insightful session. I think some very important takeouts for me would be when she mentioned so many little details that on a normal day people don't pay attention to, but they matter and go a long way in how your presentation plays out. From the heels that you're wearing, the distance to where you're going, the air conditioner in the room, and so many other things that she mentioned. I think that these are important things that we need to always remember, and little details that go a long way and matter a lot. Now we have a few questions. It was such an insightful session, and people have questions to ask. Many individuals struggle with the fear of public speaking. Could you share some practical strategies business owners can employ to overcome this fear and deliver presentations with confidence?
Thank you so much. If this question didn't come up, it means this would have just been a joke because this is like the most repeated question ever. Let me take us to one way to look at fear. Fear can be seen as one of those lights on the dashboard of a car. It tells you, check something. Check your window washer water or liquid. Check your brake fluid or brakes. Check your petrol. Check your one thing or the other, transmission fluid. Fear is a blinker. It tells you to check. Check your knowledge. Check your desire. Check your experience. Check whether you know who you are speaking to. Check if you know what they want to hear. Check if you know where you are to speak. Check if you know when, and check your how. Do you have the right slides, the right photos, the right video, the right graphs, charts, the right expression, or the right model, or if you don't call it a model, what else do you call it? A representation of the thing you're speaking to. Fear is a blinker. If you've never heard this before, hear it now. Embrace fear when it comes to public speaking. It helps you prepare better. Don't run away from it. No, let fear empower you to do more. So ask yourself, when you are most afraid of speaking in public, what's that thing that's frightening you? For some people say, Joyce, I'm afraid that they would know more than I do. That's a knowledge gap. Go and know more. Go and do the hard work of gathering all the knowledge required. Go and do the hard work of asking what possible questions they may have for you by the end of your presentation. That way you prepare for the possible questions. You see, some of us go blind. We go into a presentation hoping for everything to go well. And we hear hope is not a strategy. Strategy is a strategy. The strategy is to find out what kinds of questions could be asked you and then prepare for them. That's how we deal with fear. So you see, we embrace the fear and we question the fear. What is this fear about? Someone will say, Joyce, I'm afraid they would ask me questions that why should someone ask you anything about your business that you don't know? Are you joking? Are you a joker? Are you a joker? I mean, are you a joker? Well, Joyce, what if they ask me about the numbers I made last year? Why don't you know it? Go and sit down, get out all the information, print out your bank statement, sit with your accountant. If you don't have an accountant, then put your feet in cold water and do the work of knowing where the monies came from. Somebody says, oh, tell us the demography of your top 60% clients. Are you go? What's that one? Go and find out. How old are they? Where are they coming from? What's their race or ethnicity? Find out who buys from you and why they're buying. Because these are the things that bring the fear. You don't know. Remember the anchors: knowledge, experience, and desire. So that's a knowledge gap. So use fear to ask yourself what you need to strengthen you and your business. Therefore, you will be less afraid to talk about your business, communicate at your business, regardless of the audience. If this has been good for you, just go like, hey, do this as in. All right. Next question.
Thank you so much, Joyce. That's very insightful, very, very fantastic answer. Now, the next one I think is also really, really important. This is talking about body language and non-verbal communication. The question is, how important is body language and non-verbal communication in conveying confidence during business interactions? And do you have any specific tips for business owners to improve in this area?
Thank you so much for this question. If you have enjoyed the way my body language has been throughout this presentation, let me know. And then I'll tell you the secrets to the shoulder pad of the body language, because there is a secret. If I listen to you or watch you speak without hearing anything, no audio, but I can watch you, I can tell about your confidence. I can tell about your conviction because it will show. So when some people come to me and say, Joyce, I want you to train me on better body language, I ask the first question: what's the level of your conviction? Because your conviction will show in your body language. It's tough to fake it. You can try, but you may not get away with it. So you will struggle. So rather deal with the conviction of what it is you are saying. Then you will find that your eyes will open. The smile will come up when the smile should. The hand will move when the hand should. We call it purposeful gestures, when what you're doing is supporting what you're saying. You see, you get into a restaurant and you're eating with your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your colleagues, people you're used to, you know, and you're gisting them about something that happened yesterday. See, you see what happened? Your hand just goes because your conviction from experience. Hey, yesterday, hey, the car now slowed down. All of us like, what's going on? Your entire body is telling the story because of your conviction. It's coming from somewhere. So body language in business is exactly the same principle. Your body will follow your conviction. If you are not convinced, your mouth will shake, your hands will stay by the side, or you'll be doing this. So yesterday, so you see, in our business, we are trying to stop that, stop that. Let your hands, your eyes, your lips, your muscles, your feet support what you are saying. Let's be clear. Avoid movements that would be distracting. Your movement should enhance your talk. Can you see my hands? Or I can even use another one. Your movement should enhance your talk. You see, my hands are supporting exactly what I am saying. I'm not just doing this. So today we are talking about today we are talking about 3 ways your 3 is supporting your today. Purposeful gestures. Do not make the mistake of trying to check your gestures only when you have presentations to make. That's the biggest mistake. Check your gestures every single day. Every conversation is a presentation, whether you're speaking to your colleague, you're speaking to your superiors, your staff, you're speaking to your spouse, you're speaking to your children, you're speaking to your friends. Always check your gestures because it's difficult to be on stage what you are not off stage. Your stage, and when I say stage, it could be an elevated platform, it could be online like we are right now. Your stage is always an extension of your everyday. So whoever you want to be on stage with the kinds of gestures you would like to have on stage, do them every day. Practice until you become. Don't fake it till you make it. Practice till you become, because when you practice to become, your conviction level goes here. And when conviction is here, your body follows. Some of the most authentic speakers that you like, if I ask you to put their names in the chat right now, you will find that one of the reasons you like them so much is that their bodies tell everything. It's from a place of conviction. And some of the speakers that you question, one of the reasons you question them is because you're not even sure that what they're saying is true.
Thank you so much. I'm going to make sure that I pay attention so that when I'm using my hands, I'm portraying a message and not, dancing shocky. I'm kidding. So our next question is, in today's digital age, virtual communication has become increasingly prevalent. What advice do you have for SMEs to effectively communicate with confidence in virtual environments such as video conferences or webinars?
First rule of thumb for every business owner and business operator that is listening to this, start going live regularly on your business platforms. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. Schedule it into your business practice. At least once every month, go live and talk about something around your business. You can come up with a schedule. Why? You can't become on stage who you are not every day. Your live stations give you opportunity to practice. In fact, I like to use 5 fingers. Practice till you become. Then you would watch that, the last live, our lighting wasn't so good. So guess what you would do? You would invest in better lighting. The sound wasn't great. Then you would invest in better sound. I wasn't sure. I struggled a little bit with how to share my slides or do this. Then you invest in the know-how, the technicality of sharing. You now say, maybe I even need a technical producer. Then you hire. You see, your business process is improving. Your entire business is going up because you use your own platform to test. Then you go live and people ask you certain questions toward the end of your live. Maybe it's a 15 or 30-minute live. And you say, questions from people who are watching live. Please put your questions in the chat. And they ask you some kinds of questions you never thought of before. You start preparing for such answers, knowing that next time when you will speak at a webinar or any other online engagement, online conference, you are better attuned to the online environment because you've practiced on your own platform. Some rules to watch. Your head should be within the top half of the screen, not under. You shouldn't look down to your audience, meaning your screen shouldn't be below, it should be at eye level, right? And you see that some people would even not mind having the camera a little higher. That way you look up. And when you look up, it tends to give you a more confident look. Yeah. So I wouldn't mind your camera being a little higher than eye level, but not below, so that you don't look down. Other things would be watch your sound. Ensure that your sound is crisp, clear. You might need to use headphones when you're going to join virtual engagements, or you might need to use one of these kind of microphones that you can connect to your device. But by all means, improve, do things with world-class standards, because you are judged by it and people will buy into your business and you because of how you present. So don't take it for granted. We are now in the age where we are always online presenting. So have all the equipments, get your lights. I see people present and they still don't have this common ring light. I'll come for you. Don't try us. Get your lights, get your sound, get the right equipment, and know how to use the entire online environment. I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
And finally, the question here says that research suggests that women may encounter unique challenges in communicating with confidence in professional settings. Could you elaborate on some of these challenges and provide strategies that women, particularly in small and medium-sized businesses, can employ to overcome barriers and communicate with assertiveness and authority? And I think that this is really important because we find that when women are trying to be assertive, some people have said that they are aggressive, or just misunderstand how they're trying to take charge of their presentations of themselves in work environments.
You have touched my heart. Wait, let me adjust my body. I love these parts. Happy International Women's Day tomorrow to all the women. Much love, much love, much love. Culturally, many women, not only in this part of the world, across the world, are expected to be seen and not heard. Or in the way we raise our girls, we might say things to her like, don't talk too much. More girls hear things like, don't stop talking, you're always talking. Understanding that biologically, and yes, I have a BSc in human anatomy, biologically, women speak 3 times more words than men per day. Biologically. But we are then conditioned to speak in close quarters. Go and speak with your mom and your sisters in the kitchen. Go and speak with your friends outside, culturally. I'm bringing this from the cultural angle first so that some of us who are already making this mistake with our daughters will put paid to it right now. She comes into the workspace and then she speaks with assertion and somebody says she's aggressive. And then she begins to question herself and say, maybe truly, woman, you are great the way you are. Let's start there. If you have something to say it. Research will show again and again from across the world that, I paraphrase, a woman will think to be 120 to 150% certain before she speaks. Whereas a man only needs to think to 25 to 30% certainty, and then he opens his mouth and gives us paragraphs. But it can also be linked to some sort of culture. Culture comes from how someone is raised, how someone is conditioned. The good thing is that we are not trees that are planted in one place. We are humans and we can unlearn and relearn, which is what we're doing here. So how do you now build up? We start with the place of confidence. Confidence comes from what? Conviction. Conviction comes from what? Knowledge, experience, desire. I'll give you a few more anchors. Confidence could come from a place of the meaning of your name. My name means Joyce. My name is Joyce. My name means leader. Meaning I'm expected to show others what to do and how to go. That gives me conviction. What's the meaning of your name? Some of you bear names that are powerful, but you've not taken the power from the name, and therefore you want to speak, you hold yourself back. You need to know your anchors, your knowledge, your desire. Look, desire is one of the strongest anchors. Where do you want to go? Some of us, our dreams are not yet big enough for us. You've not seen yourself as manager of this, or you've not seen your business as the one that would receive awards for this, that, and the other. And that's why you're quiet. But when you say, I want my business to be recognized as the 50 under 50, you know, all those kind of awards, right? I want my business to be recognized as the 50 businesses of so. I want to be recognized as CEOs of das. Don't let your desire be put down. I have such a desire. I have desire that EcoBank will ask me to speak, and here I am, my mouth is strong because the strength of my desire, that will make me speak. So you see, for the woman, we've also been told things like, don't buy car, you won't see husband to marry. So your ambition just drops. You know, if you're too senior, you won't be able to take care of your children. You see where culture comes from. And so she's questioning herself innerly. In her inner mind, she's questioning whether she really wants this promotion. Because you see, she doesn't really want to make more money than her husband. And that affects whether she speaks up at work or at business or not. Look, if we don't know the source of the problem, we won't know where to nip it. Everything affects everything. So that might make her go back and ask, why is her biggest worry the fact that her money earning more than her husband might bring problem in her marriage? That tells you that your marriage already has other issues. And that is what is affecting your confidence, because it's affecting your conviction, and that will affect whether you speak at a business meeting or not. Can you imagine the long trail? It doesn't happen only in the boardroom. It starts in your bedroom, what you say to yourself. Here we talk about negative self-talk. You hear women many times say things like, you know me, I'm not too bright. What was it I heard somebody say yesterday? Oh gosh, I heard somebody say, I'm not a quick thinker. And I was like, what? You are what? That already tells me that when she gets into a meeting and she's asked a question, her response will be less than excellent, because she has said to herself many times, I'm not a quick thinker. I can preach on this. I can speak to this, preach for the next 8 days if I need to, because everything is about conviction. Your conviction affects your confidence. Your confidence will determine how you speak. And many women deal more with confidence issues. What are you saying to yourself? What have people said to you that you've agreed and believed? Do you need to attend some sort of therapy or training that would help you replace your beliefs? Some people call it neuro-linguistic programming. What you think, what you say. Neuro, brain, linguistic, words, programming, how they flow. You may need to attend a program in neuro-linguistic programming so that you can recalibrate your thinking that would affect what you say, and then it will affect how you present. When we hear things like, oh, you know, she's so aggressive, take feedback as opportunities to learn. Now check. Sometimes when someone says you are aggressive, they mean you are assertive, but sometimes they mean you are aggressive. And this is what I mean. Someone said to me, Joyce, years ago, Joyce, I think you cut into other people when they speak too much. When she said it to me, she said, well, we've been talking, and every time somebody starts speaking, you cut into them. And at the end of the day, it's about you and what you're saying. When she said it to me, in that moment, I was offended. But on my way home that day, I reflected on the day. Alas, she's right. Alas, I actually do cut into other people's talks. Every time they start talking, I cut in. That was feedback. That's now feed forward. And then for the next 2.5 to 3 years, I began to learn to bite my tongue, allow them end their talk, and then pick up. That's changing the aggressive look to assertive. So also check to see that we are not the ones now just saying, oh, anytime she's assertive, they say she's aggressive. No, check that you're not being aggressive. Saying to someone, And the way you put that water on the table is so questionable. That water is going to pour. Aggressive, assertive. And take a second look at the water on the table. Is there any harm that it could cause because of the positioning of the bottle? That's assertive. So we also need to learn to speak with assertive components, which means it must be building, it must be positive, it must be looking for results, not trying to diminish what someone else has said. There's so much to say, but I'll wrap it up now. I'll wrap it up. That negative voice in your head, give her a name. Give her a name. Maybe you call her Blue. When she's coming to you and trying to put you down, now you want to speak in a boardroom, you want to speak in a place where you should show your competence, and she says to you, don't speak, keep quiet. Address her and say, Blue, keep quiet. Blue, today we are going to speak. I know you're trying to protect me from failure, but how would I learn if I don't try? So Blue, shift. Give her a name and address her as a personality. That way, you begin to take your ownership back from her. And I'm speaking to women, that's why I'm saying her. But if you're a man who also deals with some of the challenges of whether to speak to, whether not to speak, whether to stop, give him a name and call him Black and say, Black, today we will deal with this. When you address that voice that keeps you back from showcasing your competence and your capacity, and you address that voice promptly and accurately, you will find that you will show up more in a powerful way, in an assertive way, in a way that shows authority without you being an authoritarian. You get the drift? Final words. So long, farewell. Alvin Toffler said, the 21st century illiterate is not the person who cannot read or write. It's the person who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. For us to be able to communicate with confidence for our businesses to audiences globally and locally, we would learn the tools. Any tool you need, learn it and practice it until you become. And to all my beautiful women across the world who will be watching this either right now live or you're watching the recording, wherever you might find it, you are special. Allow your beauty shine. The world is only better because we as women give our best. So give your best. Give your best and let it shine through. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joyce Daniels. This was amazing, very, very insightful. Again, I'm sure that everyone here has been able to take more than a thing or two from this very, very amazing session. And I know that questions are still coming in. The email address, if you have more questions to send to, will be in the chat box. So please feel free to send your questions. I'm very sure that Joyce will attend to all your questions because I know that you have more because there's just so much to learn from Joyce. This is just the beginning and just a little of all that we have planned for you on this SME Growth Series. So make sure that you make it a date with us. And a very big thank you to Joyce for coming on this week. See you soon.
Across Africa, a new era has begun. Shifting our focus to a new horizon, connecting us with the one purpose: to create and share opportunities to grow. Today, we are making a brighter tomorrow, built by our dreams and our energy. Across our continent, across the world, we are creating a better way to a better future. A African future. Together. EcoBank. A better way, a better Africa.